this is part 3 of section 1.1. I have a distribution here, and I have a distribution here. Now over here, you cannot combine these two first. You have to remember your order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, working from left to right, then addition and subtraction, working from left to right. This 3 in here, this is a multiplication. Multiplications have to be done before subtractions. Okay, so if you ever kind of get confused about why you can't do that first, that's why. It doesn't follow order of operations. Now what I have here is I have a -3. I need to distribute that -3 all the way through here, and then the +4 here. So what that gives me is 6x minus 15x minus 6 is equal to 4x minus 4. Now right here we have like terms. 6x minus 15x would be -9x. Then minus 6 is equal to 4x minus 4. Okay. Now I need to get my x's together. It does not matter which way we go, so let's try moving this over to here. So that means I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. -9x minus 4x would give me -13x minus 6 is equal to -4. Now I need to add 6 to both sides. That gives me -13x is equal to +2. Now divide both sides by -13. And you get your x is equal to, remember with a fraction, it does not matter whether the negative is in the bottom or in the top or off to the side, it's all the same value. And that's because fractions are divisions. If I have a positive divided by a negative, the answer is negative. If I have a negative divided by a positive, it's negative. It really doesn't matter. For whatever reason though, we just don't normally write the negative in the bottom. So you're more likely to see this or this. It's all the same. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that knowing how to use the memory on your calculators is very useful when you need to check a fraction answer. Both of these calculators allow you to do fractions, okay? On the black calculator here, your fraction button is right here. It's directly above the 7. On the white calculator, it's still above the 7, but you have to go up quite a bit further. So here's your fraction button here. Here's your fraction button here. It works the same way on both of them though. All right, so I'm going to say that I need to check my answer was -2 over 13. So -2 over 13. That's one way to enter your answer. I'm just going to hit enter here. The other way to do it is you can hit the fraction first and then enter and then use your arrows to get your fraction in. That works the same way for both calculators, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter -2/13. Make sure you use the arrow to get away from it and then store it in x. I'm going to do the same thing over here. -2 over 13. Use the arrow and then store it in my x value. Okay? Now I'm just going to check it using this one, but it works the same way on both because your parentheses and everything are in the same place. So let's enter this exactly as it is. 6x minus 3, open parentheses, 5x plus 2, close parentheses, and that gives me the answer of -60 over 13. It doesn't matter how ugly that is. If I plug in -2/13 on the other side, I should get this same ugly fraction. So let's try that. 4 times x minus 1, close parentheses. I should get the same thing. And I do, so it's a correct answer. Okay, so the answer for this one is negative 2 over 13. Okay, so let's try this one. This one looks uglier, but really you're doing the same thing. It's just bigger, not really harder. The thing here is we end up with two kind of distributions. I have a distribution inside here. These are brackets. They serve the same purpose as parentheses. It's just when you have parentheses within parentheses, it makes it kind of hard to match them up. So usually we start with parentheses, and then outside of that we have brackets. It just makes it easier to pair them. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to concentrate on this one. I'll simplify inside the brackets, and then I'll take care of that distribution. Right here, this is a negative 1 that needs to be distributed. We often say we are distributing the negative. I don't always write the 1 in. We have the same thing happening over here. More often in this class, I'll just do this. You need to remember that you're distributing a negative 1 through here. All that does is it changes the sign of everything inside the parentheses. So what I have right here is 4 times 2t minus 3. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1, so plus t. And then this is outside the parentheses, so it's still plus 5. Is equal to, this gives me negative 2 minus 7t. Okay, now let's simplify inside here. I still have this 4 times 2t plus t would be 3t. And then negative 3 plus 5 is positive 2, equal to negative 2 minus 7t. That's sort of blended in there, sorry. Now these are the same as parentheses, so I'm going to distribute that 4 through there, which gives me 12t plus 8 is equal to negative 2 minus 7t. I want to get my t's together, so I'm going to move this one all the way over to here. So I am adding 7t to both sides, which gives me 19t. And then I still have the plus 8 equal to negative 2. Okay. Now let's subtract 8 from both sides. That leaves me with 19t. That cancels out. Negative 2 minus 8 is negative 10. Let's divide both sides by 19. And we get t is equal to negative 10 over 19, which is a very ugly answer, but it is entirely possible that it's correct. You can plug it into your calculator just the same way we did up here, plug it in memory, and as long as you're careful over here, entering it exactly the same way, you'll use parentheses here and parentheses here, and here and here. You're just going to make sure you type it in exactly like this, except you use parentheses here instead of brackets. But other than that, you should end up with the same answer on both sides, and if it checks out, you've got it correct.